Hello everyone and welcome to Matic TV. Welcome to tonight's live stream. Joining me tonight to go over what was, what is to come, and more importantly, what is needed for our beloved Manchester United. I've got my man Dave, who's back on the show again. Dave, how's everything, mate? How's it going, pal?
Good, mate. Good. Not too bad. Not too bad.
Top man. Top man, top man. And below us, I've got Jamie on the show as well. Back again, Jamie. How's things, mate? How's the new house? How's your week been, my man?
Yeah, I'm getting there now, mate. All sorted. All back on the old laptop, so no phones and switching sides and stuff. So we're all good.
That's it,
How are
mate.
you, mate? You keeping all right? Yeah.
Good, mate. Thank you. You got the professional back there. Lovely, jubbly. Anyway, guys, I'm just going to. We want a Manchester internet meltdown or whatever it is going on tonight. So if I do flick in and out, the guys are just going to carry the convo on and we'll get there somehow. We will.
Yeah.
Further north than all of us, I think, right now is Bob's. He's going to be joining us very shortly as well. And we're going to get into, like I said at the start there, everything that was with United this week, what is to come, end of the season, and something a bit different towards the end of the show in terms of what is realistically needed going on. But before we start into the convo, guys, quickly again, the sponsors of this video, Football Prizes, have got what I advertised on the weekend show. It is this brilliant double-framed, authenticated, signed Bruno Fernandes and Marcus Rashford shirt. Tickets are $8.95. You will get discounted price using my promo code MADRED10 on that as well. There was 120 odd tickets. There's only 30 odd left. The draw is tomorrow, people. So if you want, grab yourself a chance to get in this. This is probably the biggest prize we've actually done since we've started with Football Prizes. Bruno and Rashford this season signed, framed, or fully authenticated shirts. Get on to that. The link is in the description below. Don't forget, use the MADRED10 promo code on checkout and grab your discount there and get as many as you can or as many as you can afford and give them a chance to win that brilliant prize. That would be my nice backdrop because there are two players that have actually, well, Rashford's borne off the boil a little bit, but two players that have kept us afloat for a lot of the season. Very pivotal for us this term. But that was prizes. Let's get into the nitty gritty, people. Okay, Dave, I'm going to come to you first, mate, because you actually was there. Fans back in the stadium. You was one of the 10,000. Weekend, mate. I mean, on Tuesday, sorry, I should say. How was it, mate? Just good to be back. Was the atmosphere decent?
Atmosphere was better than I thought. Yeah. I thought there was going to be no singing, sit down with your mask on with your legs crossed. I thought it was going to be on a serious note. But no, it was good. You couldn't stand up, but you could sing. And I had no voice after 15 minutes. I'm out of practice. So, but yeah, it was good. It was good to. It was goosebumps and emotion, really. A lot of emotion. I tear in my eye when the players were coming out, and it was really emotional. It was a hard hit time over the last year and a half. So to be able to go back into the ground and experience half the experience, it was a good feeling.
Yeah, for anyone who never understands what it's like or what it means to football fans. I mean, Dave is a season ticket holder. He's been going everywhere, home and away. When was the last time you missed a game, mate? Never.
Yeah, before lockdown, it was solid 4 or 5 years.
4 or 5 years of every game, home and away, off to Europe and everything. This is what this means to real big United fans. And everyone is big as a United fan in their own way. But for people who go to the games like Dave, it's part of his life for a good period of time. I can totally understand why that would be emotional. And I was devastated and angry when I didn't get my ticket. But I kind of made the mistake by applying for free tickets because I take my kids with me as well, as everyone knows. So that's probably why I didn't get in. I wasn't clever enough with it. I just got excited that I was applying. You know what, mate? Dave, you said it there. I was just happy to actually apply.
Yeah.
Just the feeling of actually applying for a ticket, mate. It was amazing.
So it was a great feeling. I got chubbed again. I got chubbed for that game originally. So it was a great feeling. It was a bit of normality of being chubbed for a ticket every week. It was great, and I got one. I got one on return, which I do every week anyway. So it was a normality feeling. Definitely was good.
Yeah, I think the loyalty in United sell for tickets is in that return system, mate, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's like we don't get preferential treatment for how many games we actually apply for. It's how many returns you pick up all the time. You sort of go into like this favoritism pot, isn't it?
Yeah,
but I mean, you and TJ get more tickets than I believe. No, it's amazing what you guys get to.
The last one I got was the Spurs game, the new ground.
Yeah.
But that got called off. That was the first one I had in a year. And it got called off. So I was like, oh, this is just typical, innit? But I don't get any tickets in the ballot apart from Europe, which goes off loyalty and credit.
Yeah,
but
that's the only bit it does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Everyone who's in the comments, hello. Thank you already for people joining in. Get your comments and join in with the discussion with yours as well as we go through this. But I mean, Jamie, mate, fans were back in the stadium. It sounded decent from the box from what we was looking in. Obviously, Dave was there. He said it was decent atmosphere. I mean, it felt and looks like on TV, mate, the Old Trafford of the 90s, mate, when the top parts of the tiers were all switched off. It was just the bottom tiers. And you know what, mate? I think the players appreciated it. But in the end, we'll start with you, mate. Let's just get your verdict on the game itself. It's sort of anticlimactic, you could say, to say the least.
Yeah, it was frustrating because like you say, there was a big buzz there going into the game for people like David that got a ticket. I can imagine it was absolutely buzzing. Obviously, quite a lot of viewers probably won't know because I'm quite new to the channel. I actually live in Newcastle, so I don't get down to Old Trafford as much as I would like. It's something in the future when the ground sort of starts filling up again. I'm going to try and see if I can source some tickets a little bit more regularly, but I'm not
sort you out, mate. Don't worry.
that'll be very nice.
But I live in Middlesbrough. I live in Middlesbrough now, so.
Oh, do you live in Middlesbrough?
Yeah, just down from you. So
Dave's first year without this, I think. He's putting his studies first.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
People would say. It's been what more people would say. He's sensible.
Yeah, 100%. I'll get in touch with you. We'll definitely have a little meet up, 100%. But sorry, I'm going off topic a little bit. But I was just going to say I don't live too far from St James's Park, and some of my mates were there last night, and they were saying exactly the same as you, David. Like really emotional, like seeing the players come out and stuff like that. So I can totally even when Cavani scored, and I'll touch on it in a minute, what a finish that was. But it wasn't even the goal for me. It was hearing the fans. Like it just it hits you, doesn't it? It just does. I know you probably watched it the same as me, Adam, on the telly, mate. But just hearing that roar, it was just amazing. I can't imagine what it was like. It would give me goosebumps on the telly, so I can imagine what it was like. But
I've got goosebumps talking about it.
Yeah, going. I cannot wait to get back down the road. To be honest with you,
football feels like it's back and it's ending in a week.
Yeah, that's it. But going off the actual game, sorry, I got sidetracked there, mate.
Go for it, mate.
It was just disappointing, wasn't it? Because I feel like it's just an opportunity missed. You know, we put a decent team out. We should be beating Fulham. You know, they've been relegated. They've played some decent football this year, but at the end of the day, they're going back down to the Championship because they're one of the 3 worst teams in the league, and they're coming to Old Trafford, and it's Old Trafford again. We can't seem to get a win there. So I don't know what it is, whether it's just the whole season as a whole with no fans and stuff like that, because I'd probably, you boys would probably agree with me. If Old Trafford was full, I'd like to think we were getting more points than we've actually got at home this year. So the Stretford end.
Very interesting point there. Sorry, Jamie, mate. But if you look at, let's say, the top 4 from last season, top 5-ish. I mean, United's home form this season, mate, worst it's been.
Yeah.
Liverpool, worst it's been. City, horrendous. Leicester can't buy a win at home. Yeah. I mean, there's 4 of the top 5 from last season. I can't remember Chelsea's record this season as such, but they've been in and out with Frank Lampard as well. Not fantastic, mate. But maybe their fans has really shown this season how it's really affected the big teams, the ones that rely on it. So for me, I think you just nailed it there, Jamie. I think that was proof this season that the fans are massive, especially for the big teams, because I feel like this season the players have slacked at home. I think they've got away with a lot of stuff where the fans wouldn't let them get away with it. And like I said then, the form of them 4 teams alone should tell you everything about this season and why. And we'll get into this. It rolls us into it perfectly. Why next season is the real judgment, and I think will be Ollie's D-Day season, if that makes sense. But really, what I want to touch on first, guys. I mean, Dave, I'll come to you, mate. If he doesn't win the Europa League, mate, I know we've got Wolves first. Forget that. It's done and dusted. It's by the by. No one's thinking about Wolves right now. All it is Cadence. All it is that Europa League final, mate. How much pressure is Ollie under if he does not win that Europa League now, mate? The way we've played the last week and sort of soured the mood a bit, he needs a result more than ever right now, doesn't he, mate?
It's immense. The pressure he's under it's huge. For one, you're at Man United. That's pressure within itself, and we know this. We've known this since Fergie's gone more than anything. And the amount of semi-finals he's lost. And then if he loses the only final he's got to, and we crumble, what are we going to do? I don't know. Will they give him another chance? Or personally, I think it's proven he's been to so many semi-finals and lost the final. I don't think it'll work. But he's a legend, and I hate this topic because it's dead sensitive with other fans and other points of views. But if we lose this final, it's a big statement of what Ollie can handle under pressure. And we're not doing it. We're not providing these trophies that we want as Manchester United Football Club, as Bruno wants, as Pogba wants. All these big players want to win trophies. If we're not giving them trophies, they'll soon be gone.
Quickly, just touch on super chat. Cheers, but he says, "Hey guys, I'm right from Singapore here. Dave, did you guys sing the new Cavani song in the stadium? Thanks, guys." Dave set that song off. I remember Dave. If you follow Dave, we'll give him a shout at the end. If you follow his stories on Instagram, I remember him singing that song months ago, guys.
It got going. It got going around the ground a bit. When he celebrated in front of us with his arrow. Mate, that was shivers, mate. We've been waiting all season just to see that celebrate. And what a goal to celebrate! What a goal!
What a goal! Yeah.
So it was goosebumps again. Goosebumps just talking about it. It's honestly it was amazing.
Yeah, I mean,
imagine if we'd have signed him in his prime.
Oh mate, no, don't even get me started on that subject.
I know, he's so good.
He was wasted in Paris, wasn't he? He was wasted in Paris in the rubbish league. If he'd come here and dominate
Ibrahimovic, Cavani in their prime.
Oh yeah. Do you know what I mean? They're like second hand downs for us, but they're still showing up. A lot of the players that we've got, Jamie. I mean, that's the point in it. Ollie's going to need all these big guns for this game, because there's going to be a moment there where some of these players, like Dave said, then the routine of failing or crumbling at the biggest stage. This is the biggest stage that a lot of these players, and Ollie in particular, has got to. He's going to need his Paul Pogba's, the World Cup winners. He's going to need his Cavani's, these experienced players to help him get through this. Bruno's winning mentality. These players are going to have to really stand up for him in this final, because it's going to be a stubborn, hard watch of a game. There's no doubt about it with the Villarreal low block. We've seen how we struggled against the likes of Fulham. Like you said, we were already down. The Cavani's of the world, the Pogba's, the Bruno's, these men are going to have to stand up, and Ollie's going to have to rely on a lot of these players to actually pull us through this game, mate. Because right now I don't see any form.
Don't forget about.
Sorry, Fred. Mate.
Don't forget about. Fred.
Jokes. We'll leave the jokes till the end. Yeah. But Jamie, mate, I mean, how important to you are? I mean, we've had a lot of talk about individual brilliance saving us in certain games this season, but I think for the sake of getting this trophy through, we'd just take a win by hook or by crook, won't we, next week?
Yeah, it's an absolutely massive game. Like I feel like it's such a pivotal moment in Ollie's reign. I really do, because you've got the split in the fan base when it comes to Ollie. I'm not going to open that door because we don't have enough time tonight. But it's such a big game for him personally. But you talk about mentality and that winning mentality for players like Bruno and stuff, and these types of, we've spoke about it before, Adam, ain't we? These types of players are not going to be sticking about, mate, if we don't start winning trophies. Like, let's just be real about it. And the likes of, you got the Pogbas, the Brunos, they're serial winners. You know, they're top of the creme de la creme of football players. They want to be playing in the Champions League, let alone the Europa League. So we have all the tools to beat Villarreal, but we have really struggled against the low block, and my worry. Contrasting that with the centre-back situation at the moment, I'm a lot nervous than I would have been if we would have picked up a couple of more points in the lead up to it. But the thing is, for me, the worrying thing for me is, and it'll be interesting to get yours and David's take on it, we're just not playing well, and it's typical Man United to slump in form when it really matters. And you put on top of that the issue with the centre-backs, as I mentioned a minute ago, it's a cocktail for a disaster, isn't it? And I think we will have too much for Villarreal, but it's like you say, we have to be on our A game. And for me, there's certain things that are in the lineup against Villarreal that will tell me all I need to know about that game. If Pogba starts as one of the pivot players, I'll be a lot more confident, but I have a feeling it'll be Fred and McTominay. And it's just like, it's going to be I can probably name the team now. It's going to be Rashford on the right, Pogba on the left with that double pivot. And I'm just like, anyone with a footballing brain can see the balance of the team isn't great at United anyway, because of certain profile of player like Fred and McTominay. The balance of the team to allow us to play a more progressive game isn't there, and Mason's much better on the right. But it comes down to the whole favoritism again. We talked about it last time I was on, didn't we? This ain't the time for sentiment. It's a time for putting a team on the field that's going to win that trophy, because if we don't win that trophy, can you imagine the fan base? Like, really? We get annoyed when we don't beat Fulham at home, you know? So it's such a massive, massive game. And I do feel like we'll have too much for them, but the fact that they're a very defensive-minded team and Unai Emery's quite a astute defensive coach, it is going to be a tough watch, like what you just said, mate.
Yeah, I mean, going on that, I mean, do you automatically just put the biggest reserve team, or very similar to what we played against Leicester, Dave, out against Wolves on Sunday, mate? Yeah, we can't afford to lose key players. I know form and momentum is massive, but I thought we might have got that against Fulham, and we didn't. Right now, I think it's a case of just preserving our best players, our match winners, surely.
We played your best team against Fulham, and we didn't win, but it would be absolute ridiculous if he played this full team on the weekend. It would be an absolute shambles. We've got to keep them fresh. And I know people are about mentality and keep the flow going, keep the football playing, and keep the same players gelling. But in the circumstances that we're in, top four was done ages ago. Second place is confirmed. Rest your team, win a trophy, game over, settle season, finish, move on to next year. Simple as that.
Yeah. That's what it's going to be, mate. Unless if he doesn't win that trophy, then like Jamie, you said, then it's like, oh man, I can already feel the atmosphere building for it now. This game on Sunday is just going to get passed by the by, and it's all going to be on next Wednesday. If it doesn't, I still think, by the way, people, that we are going to win it. I do. I'm not putting a downer on it. I think we will have too much, because I know we've got mentality in that squad, in the players that I mentioned just a minute ago. We've got big game match winners in our team now. No matter how bad parts of our team are, we have got big match winners in it, and that's what I think will see us through. The worry is obviously the defence. Bigger worry at the midfield again, like you guys said. I mean, if it comes to it, I mean, I'm not kidding you guys. I think our best player recently in our forward line has been Mason Greenwood, and I feel like he's the one who's going to miss out on the final. I don't think he should. I really don't think he should. But Jamie touched on it, Dave, mate. Do you feel like, I know why he plays Rashford, and I like Rashford. I do a lot. I think he's had a good season again. And honestly, the last couple of months, he hasn't been playing great, but he can score you that goal. He has that moment in him. Do you feel like Ollie's playing him simply because he knows he can win him a game just out of nothing, no matter how bad he's playing?
Yeah, I think it's to do with that, yeah, 100%. But if you were talking about this Wednesday coming, I think I would definitely play Rashford, 100%. Like you were saying, Jamie, I think we could have Cavani, Rashford, Greenwood either side, and then I'd play Pogba in that number 6 role. Take Fred out. Take one of the holding midfielders out and put Fred or McTominay with Pogba. That's how I don't. But we know that's not going to happen. Which is this is what winds me up. Their manager must be looking, thinking, "Oh, I know what they're going to play. Yeah. They're going to play 2 holding midfielders, Pogba out wide, Greenwood or Rashford with Cavani up front. It must be so easy to manage before playing Man United. They must just look at the thing and it's the same every time they play. It's a joke. We shouldn't be playing 2 holding midfielders against this team, in my opinion. Rashford.
You said it there. You said it there, Dave, mate. I mean, Jamie, we know what's coming. Ollie knows we've got a low block coming, which ultimately every football fan or anyone, you could even say all the FIFA fans, you all know that there's no high press coming. So you put Pogba in that double pivot because he's going to get the time on the ball and he's going to be picking pockets. If you've got Fred and McTominay picking up that ball against a low block, do you know what? All the statos will come out and they'll go, look at the pass percentage on these two because they're just passing it sideways. They haven't got anywhere else to go. Side to side to side. Yeah, Van Gaal, it's great. The stats look fantastic. But how many trophies are you going to win playing that football? 0. It's as simple as that. It has to be Pogba in the double pivot because we know he's going to be rigid with his shape. He's bottled it, I think, since he got his arse handed to him by Spurs. And he's stuck with the formation of the double pivot. And it's served him well enough, second in the league. Like we said, it's good, it's progression, but there's a big moment coming. And the big moment is what he's going to get judged on. So all the work of this season, is going to go out the window if he doesn't win that game on Wednesday. It's as simple as that for me. And he gives himself an option. He gives himself an option of playing his best forwards and a player in the right position with how he looks at Villarreal. Surely, Jamie, mate. I mean, because you can play Greenwood, you can play Cavani, you can play Rashford and Bruno in that front 4. Pogba can be with a Fred or McTominay, like Dave said. That's got to be our ultimate formation, mate, and our team selection, surely.
Yeah, I totally agree with yours too. Like I would go for McTominay and Pogba in them double pivots, and I'm not buying the talk from fans that Pogba can't play that role. He can. He's done it for France. Like he's more than capable of dictating the play from a position, and we need that. Like Fred and McTominay are so limited when it comes to playing the ball forward. And you need a little bit more in there. Even if we didn't have Pogba, I would be advocating us to do it with Donny, like because we need a progressive player from deep. But the fact that we've got one of the best players in the world in midfield, I don't understand. For the life of me, I can't understand, lads, why he keeps playing them two. I do get it in the bigger games against the Cities and the Liverpools and that, but it's consistent every single week with them two. Like it's like they're the first names on the team sheet. And he must be able to see what we can see. I'm not questioning Ollie's credentials to me that's sitting in my room talking about it. Do you know what I mean? But it's a case of he must be able to see that they're not influencing the game from a deeper position. Their passing ability, not necessarily McTominay. I feel like McTominay plays it safe 9 times out of 10, but I actually think he can pass forward quite well and through the line. Pogba's got that little bit of speciality that you can give him the ball deep and he can still influence a quick attack. So I feel like that's gonna be the big one for me. But it's like David just said a minute ago. We already know what's coming. You know for a fact it's going to be Fred and McTominay, and it's like rinse and repeat again. And I feel like the issue with that is that it always comes down to the centre back issue, and it is an issue without Maguire there because even when we do have Maguire and Lindelof together, he still plays them. So that conversation's dead with regards to, oh, he's only playing them because Harry's out, because he does it when Harry's in the team anyway. But he must be able to see when he does drop Pogba, even against Liverpool, when he put Pogba in the middle, we were a much better balanced team and we were playing a lot better football. So for me, it's all about balance of the team. And if you're going to go with Mason, and I totally agree, Adam, he should not be left out at all. He's been arguably one of our best players in the past few weeks, season as well. If he's going to go with that option, I feel like the reason why he plays the double pivot is because he likes Basaka and Shaw to go forward and feels like Fred and McTominay can hold the positions and help out defensively. I do get it, but you're trying to tell me Pogba can't do that role as well. He can, you know, and it's all about balance for me in this game. And if he gets it wrong, I just hope it don't cost us.
Yeah, I mean, we're all waiting for that ballsy decision by Ollie, guys, to actually be a bit brutal. I mean, is there any shout? I think it was, who was it who said it there? It was Lynette. Lynette said it in the comments then. Is there any shout for a Pogba Matic double pivot for this final?
That's big. I think that's a big shout. It's a big statement, Matic.
I mean, that to me would be going. Ollie's just basically going like that to everyone and saying, "I'll do it my way." And you know what? I'd have more respect for him if he did that than him doing anything else or saying anything else or coming out doing any other interview with anything. If he made a decision like that, I'd go, "You know what? Fair dues, Ollie. This is how much you realise that this game is massive."
He needs to change it a bit so the opposition manager isn't just showing their team the exact same as what they've watched United do for the past 2 months. If he did play Matic and Pogba, then that automatically changes their game plan. They're gonna have to change how they play. So maybe that would work, but just not Matic, someone else.
Like you say, though, we're so predictable to other managers, ain't we? They must be able to read the script, because you see it like a certain player will drop out and you know that he's saving the other player to go straight back in for the next game. It's like I always think you should manage your squad based on the team that you're playing and how their game plan is to try and sort of counteract their game plan. But Ollie just doesn't seem to do that. It's like, nah, we'll just go with the tried and trusted. And I'm just like, well, you're at the top level here, man. You got to have a little bit more flexibility with regards to this. If he wins, we won't be moaning, will we?
No, I mean, he's good. Oh, people will be, mate. Believe me, people still will be. But he's got to put himself some coins in the bank, I think. He has to win this trophy, because next season he's going to get judged. He's going to get absolutely annihilated, because there's only one more step to take after this. And fans will be expecting progress again. And that's the #1 spot. He has to be challenging for it. So, people, on that note, I've set a challenge for the boys before the videos come up today. We're going to finish the video with it. We're not finishing yet, don't worry. We've got a bit to go yet, but this may take a little bit of time to break through. So, we all know, well, actually, before we start this, I'm just going to see what the boys say about this one, actually. Dave, Harry Kane, yes or no?
Yes.
Jamie, yes or no?
I think we need to spend the money elsewhere.
I know, mate, but say yes or no.
Yes.
Oh, you can't see. That's what ultimately does it. Do you know why that is? That is the elite for that position right now. It's as simple as that. That guy could give you 5 years and he could win you a Champions League. I know the worry. I know what everyone's going to say. We've got to get the ball to him first, guys. That's what we've got to do. You know what I mean? He's injury prone.
Bruno's done that for Cavani, so why can't Bruno do that for Kane?
Exactly. But we are sentimental as a fan base. I don't like you sentimental lot either. I don't like you. I'm not saying that in a nasty way. I really mean it, but I just don't. I don't like it. I mean, I would sell. I'll tell you what I would do this summer. I'll upset everyone again right now. I would sell David De Gea, Jesse Lingard, and Anthony Martial just to get Kane in. That's how brutal I am. I'm a brutal person and I want results. That's what I would do. And people would just collapse at the thought of that happening. And I would say exactly back to him, enjoy being fourth and never fighting for top position then, because that's where them players have got you the last 5 years. Let it sink in, process it, and then come back to me with a rational answer. Okay, let's move on.
Sorry to interrupt, Adam. I've only got 10 more minutes. Because
it's all right, mate.
I've got a university group call at 1:45.
Don't worry, mate.
There is a notification on my iPad, so just like.
Don't worry, mate. We'll get you in first, then, mate. So what we're going to do? We're going to pick the 3 positions we really need. Quickly, Alien, and bring your super chat in. Kane won't play for a bum like Ole. You know what? It's a fair point. It is a fair point, but Everyone's got their opinions. Dave, I'll come to you first, mate. I asked the guys to give me a player to bring in that's going to make us better. I'm not the obvious.
So yeah,
so let's see if anyone.
I struggled with that. I honestly, there's players I want and players I want only. This is I've always been the same.
All right, before you go, mate, give us your centre back, your holding midfielder, and your right winger. Because the other positions, I know Kane is Kane, and that happens. It will, maybe, I don't know. But the other positions, I think we all agree we need. Which would yours be, Dave? Who would you bring in?
So, in the middle, I'll start at the middle. So, I think I'd personally want Declan Rice on a term of Lingard going one way, plus some money, Declan Rice to United. That would work for me. But indeed, from Leicester as well is a great player. Will Leicester sell another great player if they get the top four? Will he leave? Will it cost 80 million, 90 million like Maguire? Probably. Centre back, mainstream, but it's a player that I really enjoy watching. And when I watch in the Champions League, is Varane. I really, if we got him next to Maguire, we would be a very, very good force at the back. As good as we are already, theoretically, we had one of the best defensive records in the league going before the end of this season, where we've just stopped playing football for some reason.
Yeah.
But then on the wing, it's got to be Sancho. It's got to be if we got Sancho, Declan Rice, and Varane in the one summer with the team we've got, with a few outings on the way, Fred one of them. I think that would honestly cement our title challenge next season, but depending on the management, obviously. I know you said different, but I couldn't think.
Yeah, so pretty much, Dave has just gone right in with all the big guns there and totally ignored what I said. But no, I got credit. But one thing you could have done there, Dave, if you wanted to be very clever, is you picked up on Declan Rice. Declan Rice can easily slip back into that centre back position when needed as well. Because he has played there. I know that's a make weight. I don't like versatile players, honestly, but you know what? Is that game when a player goes down injured, we can always bring on someone into the midfield, put Declan back if needed. He's got that with him. He's got that in his game as well. We've seen him play there, and he's only getting better. Everyone who is in the comment section, give me your 3 players as well. Remember, it has to be different, not the obvious. Don't do what Dave did, although I agree with Dave completely. They would be probably my picks as well. But yeah, you can't deny it. Dave, I'm going to let you get going, mate. I know you've got to get prepped for your video call at uni, mate.
So I've got an exam tomorrow, so I'm a bit.
Dave, cheers for coming on again, mate.
No worries,
it's been a pleasure
mate,
as always,
Take
mate.
it
I'll
easy,
speak
Dave.
to you soon,
Cheers,
mate.
Jamie. Drop us a message, Jamie.
Yeah, will do, mate. No worries. We'll be in touch.
Cheers. See you, guys.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers. Bye.
All right. Right, Jamie, the floor is yours, mate, really now. So what we'll do, very good one from Lynette there. Actually, I just put that up. Bissouma, Varane, and Rafinha.
Do like Bissouma.
Yeah, Bissouma's looked decent this season, hasn't he? Roberts coming. Sell Pogba, Martial, Lingard, Rashford, by Grealish, Varane, Ndidi, or Ruben Neves, or Declan Rice, including Sancho as well. Roberts trying to take a leaf out of my book and be uber brutal. I'm liking the brutality, mate. I just wouldn't get rid of all of them. Although, do you know what, mate? I've got to admire your brutality. I'm honest to a point. I can't really say anything bad about that when I've pretty much just done the same thing, mate. Michael Jones glazes out. That would solve all our problems, mate. Definitely. Tim says, Sutek. I mean, there are a few players out there if we play our cards right. It really is. But I mean, Jamie, what would your centre back be, mate? Who would you be looking at? Who's someone a bit different?
If it was up to me, and this might sort of be a bit by the by, but I don't feel like we're going to be in the market for a top centre back. I know David said about Varane, it'd be nice, but I just can't see us doing a deal like that. If I was given the money and told to bring a centre back in that we realistically could sign, I'd go for Fofana from Leicester. I think he's got so much.
Say that. Actually, you've opened up another point I was going to talk about there. Keane's just asked you to talk about the Mackay out movement, mate.
Right, can I just address this quickly, Adam, right? You'll know fine well because I speak to you off camera that I'm an under-11s assistant manager, right? So, me and Keane always have a little bit of crack about my results at the weekend, and I went through a bit of a dry patch when we come back from lockdown. I'm sure, I know you're involved with the football at the weekends and that, mate. Sometimes, but I'd just like to point out, just to get this one on here for Keane, I've been at the club for 16 games now, Adam, right? We've won 13, drawn 2 and lost 1, and he wants Mackay out. Like, come on.
That one game, when was that one game? Was that last week?
We got beat by top of the league, 6-4. And I'd just like to point out, not that I'm making excuses, but we had our 2 best players out. So, and we've actually got them on Saturday, and we need to beat them to still be in with a promotion chance. But Keane's trying to dig me out yet again on the big stage, so I just wanted to clear that one up.
No, Keane, no, you'll get your own back on Keane, because we have got a few announcements to make actually regarding the channel moving forward as well. So I'll touch on them in a minute. I take it you was the equivalent then for your team at weekend was a Cavani and a Bruno missing then, or something like that, mate.
Yeah, well, we played them just before we, when we just come back from lockdown, and they're a really good team. They're top of the league. They ain't lost all season, and we scored 4. Unfortunately, we conceded 6, and Keane's blaming me for that apparently. So, we're doing all right. We're still in with a shout of promotion if we can get. I think we need 4 points out of our last 2, so we'll give it our best shout. But we've been doing all right this season.
Anyway, back on to what was discussed then. I mean, Fofana at Leicester, mate. I have people talk about Ndidi, and it's like, oh, Ndidi, Leicester, they'll always slap us. But very, very interesting how the season's panning out right now. Leicester players getting a taste for trophies last week could be the detriment to them, because if they don't make top 4, mate, players like Fofana, players like Ndidi, they're the ones who may be thinking, am I ever going to get a chance to win on the big stage here? There could be a move in the offing for players like this. So it's a fair point for bringing up that one, mate. I don't know if you've thought of it that way in terms of Leicester not possibly being in the Champions League, because them players now, and believe me, when you get a taste for it, there's nothing more you want. You want it every single week. Yeah. And every team above Leicester, and by that I mean City, United, Chelsea and Liverpool, because that's how it's going to end up now. I think it's quite clear. Yeah. Unless Liverpool have a complete meltdown on the last day, which I don't see, then you know what? All them clubs could offer all of the Leicester players possible 2 trophies next season, because I think all 4 of them teams in the top 4 could easily win 2 trophies. But you've got to look at it and go, realistically, where are them players' heads at? Fofana only just signed. Is he going to be wanting to go away straight away after 1 year? Is he old enough to make that decision? I think he could be swayed, but it's what we'll have to pay for a 18 going on 19-year-old it is now, isn't it, Fofana? Yeah,
I think he's around that age, 19, 20-year-old, isn't he, or something like that. But I think you bang on, to be fair, mate. It happened when they won the title, didn't it? Like the likes of the Mahrezes, the Kantes, they all moved on. It's one-off. Success comes at a price when you're a team that's not that elite level, isn't it? It's just the way football works. But I feel like it is a deal we could do. I feel like it would be a sensible deal that has longevity in it. And I do get the feeling the club are going down that route now.
The younger route.
Yeah, they're looking for a more longevity signing with obviously ability as well. You think of like the Dan James sort of signings, the Wan-Bissakas, the young sort of, they can get better. They're not the finished article, so to speak. And I'm quite happy with that. I think Bissaka's been a good signing. Daniel James, sometimes he plays okay, but with Fofana, I've seen enough me that he's going to be a world-class centre-back when he's older, and I feel like if you can bring him in and develop him into the player that we want him to be, with the attributes and the skill set that he already has for such a young centre-back in the Premier League, I feel like it would be a really astute bit of business if we could get him. But it's like you said, we will get our pants took down for him, and we will have to pay for him. But at the end of the day, mate, if you want the better players and you want that longevity signing, you're having to pay for it nowadays. That's just the modern day football. You don't compete at that top level if you're not willing to spend the money.
That's it, mate. That's it. I mean, who would you go for in your midfield then, mate?
I really like. I think I've said it on here before. I really like Sabitzer from Leipzig. I've liked him for years. I just love the way he plays. He's like a Michael Carrick type player, but he really does get stuck in. But I don't see us doing a deal like that. I would go. It's a good option, but it's like you say, how much are they wanting for him? You know, so indeed he's got it all. But for me, I think that the sensible deal, if there's a deal to be done with regards to the Lingard situation, is Declan Rice. He's looked fantastic for West Ham. They've had a really good season. He looks like one of the important players in that position. Yeah, Kelvin Phillips, another one. I don't know whether
Kelly there.
Yeah, Kelvin Phillips is good, but I think he's probably a little bit of a downgrade on Declan Rice if we can do that deal. But Kelvin Phillips is another one. He's a specialist in that role. And we just need to get to the point with United. I'm sure you'll agree, and the people in the comments as well will agree. We need to get to the point where we're playing one defensive midfielder in front of that back two, not two.
Yep.
So I feel Declan Rice, Premier League proven, going to cost a bit of money. But as I said a minute ago, if you're not willing to pay it, you're not getting the player. I see quite a lot of comments for Neves. I wouldn't touch Neves.
I don't like Neves.
I think he's fell off a little bit, mate, from the player he was when he first come to Wolves. I don't know if that's because Wolves have dipped a little bit.
You think United could kickstart him again? You think he's got stuck in a rut there? I mean, mid-table, season on season, it's not really giving you playing in the Premier League will give you something. And obviously, when Wolves first came up, it was like it's brilliant. But again, going into the players, mate, Keane agrees with you there, saying overrated. The last season, not great, but do you feel like it's gone a bit sour at Wolves right now? And some players there that are just stuck in a ruck a little bit.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned Wolves actually, because one of my good mates back home is from Portugal, and he quite like sort of follows Wolves in the Premier League sort of thing because of the Portuguese link, and he said I was speaking to him on the phone a few days ago, and he was saying that they've been linked with Lage, who was the Benfica manager, Bruno Lage, Wolves. So I don't know whether they're getting rid of Esperanto Santos is leaving or not, but apparently there's a bit of unrest there that he's hearing in the media in Portugal. So I don't really know if it's an unhappy camp or not, but he's been there quite a long time. He's done quite well. He's probably overachieved with Wolves, but they can't consistently keep going in that Portuguese market and keep plucking players, because they have brought very well, but they've sort of dipped a little bit this season. They're still a good side, don't get me wrong, but it's like you say, they're always going to be sort of top 8, top 8th to 11th. They're never going to really push on that much. Europa League's as good as they're going to get. So I don't know whether that's just the Portuguese papers talking or whether there is concrete sort of looking for a new manager with Wolves. But I'm not. Neves is a good player, but not for our team. I feel like he's not like a ball winning midfielder. He's more of a pretty football playing, deep playmaker midfielder. I feel like we need a bit of both. We need someone that can put a tackle in, but can also play a ball. And I feel like Declan Rice is a great shout. And Basuma as well. We touched on him a minute ago. I've been really impressed when I've seen him play.
Some really good ideas, isn't it? I mean, Keane brought up there Basuma, another season on loan for Ghana.
Kessie is a good shout as well.
Yeah, he needs to go in to the Premier League, I think, Ghana. He needs some proper experience in the Premier League. I mean, Aussie Gator there, I like that one. James Ward-Prowse, man. Hell, you said about a man picking a ball out, Jamie, mate. I mean, there's no one better. Imagine the free kick takers around the edge of the box for United if he turned up at United. You got Rashford, Prowse, Bruno, Pogba, Fred. You know
James Ward-Prowse is a really decent player as well. Like he is a really decent player. I think he's better than Southampton, but I'm not too sure United will look at that deal. But for me, I do feel like Ollie will stay in the Premier League. I've seen loads of comments on side because I can't see these on my phone now, so I can interact with people on here now. I've got the laptop fixed, but I see Kessie in that. But I honestly can't see Ollie touching the European market for this position. I feel like he will stay in the Premier League with his recruitment in defensive midfield. If we bring a defensive midfielder in, but it'll be very naive if we don't.
I hate that word "if," mate. It should be an essential.
Yeah.
To be honest,
it should
the central midfielder is number one on my list. But Paul Clayton's in there. Self-read, mate. I wish, mate. Paul, if only. David Hatton says, "Dunk Bissouma and Traore." Dunk Bissouma, Traore. They are three different ones. I will give you that. I mean, our fan base would go mental if that happened. I know what they're like. They would go absolutely bananas if United ended up buying players like that. But you know what? I mean, United should always be, and they will always say they're in for the big players. But like you said, Jamie, it does look like they've gone down this different route. And again, this is the first season with it, dare I say, directors of football at Manchester United. Is this transfer window going to be any different? Are we going to strike early in the transfer market? That's a big one. A big one, you could say, is that right wing, though, mate. I mean, is it a case of there's no one else better than Sancho for that position, or is there someone else you would bring in there as well, another option for us on that right-hand side?
I feel like I see a couple of comments in here for saying that Ollie's Giorgio B's put a comment in saying Ollie's priority is a striker, which I don't necessarily agree with, but
shouldn't be.
No, it shouldn't be. But I feel like if he does see Mason for the next couple of years playing off of that right wing, they should look at bringing in a striker. If it was up to me and we were looking and we were going down that route, look at Silva from Frankfurt. Yeah. I feel like he's a quality. I think he's got 21 goals in 24 games in the Bundesliga or something like that. He'll be a good option. Andre Silva got his big move to AC Milan when he was young from Porto. Didn't really work out for him, but I feel like he's definitely got something to offer, and he's really good friends with Bruno Fernandes. I don't know how true that is, but for me, we have to go out and sign a right winger. That Mason isn't a right winger, although he's doing fantastic. He's a striker, and I feel like we need to start putting him in that position for when Cavani does drop off. But I'm not one for Adama Traore. I think he's got a lot to offer, pace and power wise, but his end priority and goal scoring ability is not great for somebody that's got such good attributes speed wise. We're obviously going to get linked strongly with Sancho, but I see the Ralph from Leeds. He's another great option. We need someone that's got something a little bit different from what we've got in the squad already, but I feel like all our eggs are in the Sancho basket, and I do feel like that's a deal United are looking at, but apparently Liverpool and Chelsea are in for him as well. And you know what happens when other clubs come in for the same players? They don't usually turn up at Old Trafford. So that's going to be one to watch. But who would you go for right wing?
Right wing, I mean, you know what? I've got a feeling he's not going to touch the right wing spot. I mean, I do like Sancho, obviously, but we've got Palistria, we've got Traore there. You know what I mean? Greenwood's doing an all right job, although I prefer Greenwood in the middle, like you. I do like the look of what Sancho does and what Sancho brings. I'm looking at ball retention and quality on the ball. It's hard to look past it for me. I do like Rafinha, though. He has been one there that has just been. What?
You're still there, mate. Can you still hear us? You there, buddy?
Right, here we go. Orthodox. My internet's gone down, so oh my god.
No, I thought it was mine, mate, or I had a little bit of chatter there. I thought it was my internet, so sorry about that. That's why I refreshed.
Guys, sorry about that, people. But we had a complete. I did warn you at the start that the internet could go completely down at any point, but there it is. It just happened. It just happened. Literally, just blown up on me mid conversation, as it always tends to do for me. But yeah, managed to salvage it on the phone, people, just to come back in time to finish up. But I think that pretty much covers everything, guys, in what we're doing and what we're trying to get across today. Quick announcements before we do finish off. This weekend, we are doing the watch along for the Wolves game, but I just want to bring in my man here, just if we can. Kino, right there. He's just jumped in on the end of this video, really, because my internet was dying and I may have needed an emergency co-host. But Keane is actually taking charge of the watch-along against Wolves on Sunday, because there's not many things that will take me away from Manchester United, but my daughter is 9 years old at weekend, and last lockdown she didn't get a party, so we're having a bit of a party in the garden for her, and United are coming second this weekend, I'm afraid. And Keane, my man here, he's not only going to wind Jamie up, but he's going to be taking control of the watch along against Wolves at weekend. So guys, I need you to tune in on Sunday, as you normally do, and get behind Keane. He's doing a full 2 hour plus, whatever it's going to take, and he's going to be hopefully changing his look, because his last 3 games have been a loss, and a draw. So hopefully Keane's record's going to change. Looking forward to it, mate.
Yeah, absolutely. Can't wait to get on the watch along Sunday, and hopefully we can, get the 3 points, because the Keane curse, has been there the last couple of games, and let's hope it can be kind of wiped away on Sunday. Especially the fact that it's Wolves who are our bogey team. So fingers crossed, lads. Fingers crossed.
You know it, guys. And another announcement, guys. We are doing watch-alongs for the Euros, guys. The England games will be up on the channel as well. We're going to have a booze-up watch-along for the Three Lions, and a special one for the Scotland game. Obviously, we're going to get bobs on, bits and bobs. Full Scottish against English watch-along. That is going to be epic. The beers will be flowing. We're going to have a proper party this summer, people. So, yeah, it's on for the Euros. It's on for this summer, people. England, which is going to happen, guys. It's going to happen. It's going to be a good tournament, hopefully. And we've got a lot to see and a lot of players to scout. But, guys, that's it for now. I just wanted to thank Keane just for jumping on there, obviously. And Keane will be back on Sunday, guys. So please do tune in for that. We're substituting Matic for Keane, so it's not bad. It's not bad. Obviously, Dave, who was on earlier, thanks for coming on to Wim as well. A brilliant input as well, as always. And my man Jamie has been with us there all video. He's not been in and out or substituted once. He's the only one who's actually stayed in the whole game. But anyway, Jamie, just give the people a shout out to your socials, mate, before we finish, where they can catch you.
Yeah, just my name on screen there, just Jan Mackay 1989 on Twitter. Come and have a little bit of United chatter on there with me. Always good to interact with new people and just meet people that follow these sort of things. So always a pleasure coming on, Adam. Thank you very much for having me again, mate.
No problem, mate. Absolutely brilliant. As always, I am just going to...
And just lost Adam there.
There we go. I'm sloping down again. It's just makeshift tonight. I can't believe it. But guys, yeah, that is us for now. Obviously, do check out Keane as well on his socials. Weekly Armchair Kickoff Podcast. It's all about Wolves, and then we'll be back. Oh no, but we will see. The countdown is on to the big one for Ole. For now, guys, thanks for tuning in. Like, share, and subscribe to the video as always, guys. Your comments, super chats, and everyone who's been involved in tonight's video has been banged on. We will see you on Sunday, people. Take care. Bye-bye.